welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do something a bit different on this one because Nokta give us testers the chance to test the test version. I'm going to show you what testers do. A field test. We're going to do a field test. I'm going to show it on YouTube, the procedures I go through, just to make sure a machine is no glitches are working the way it should do, and all this information gets sent back. If anything's brought up by the testers, it gets sent back to Nokta, and it's up to them to deal with it. It's just trying to iron out some problems and stuff like that. Sample 5. Oh, I didn't even realise, look, I've got sample 5. I thought it actually said Simplex on the back. I only just realised that. So I was 5th in the queue. What was yours, Sid? 10. Oh god. So yeah, you're out with a field tester, I suppose, on this show. I hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. You're going to be using 99 tone, so 0 to 18 is discriminated, and then I've gone all the way over to stop the wraparound effects for the big iron and discriminated from 95 to 99. I'm running 28, 29, 30. I'll run at 29, very stable, 15 kilohertz, and all change to the stock setting is a bit windy. Is recovery, I'll drop back to 2. I haven't got my tripod either, so it's going to be a bit of a different looking video, but this come up solid 62. It's changed now, it's out the ground, but when it was in the ground it was 62. It's a big penny. Oh, it's lovely, it's a beauty. It's an 1899 Victoria penny, and look at this for a portrait on the bus side there. Victoria, Gratia, Britain, Regina. Lovely coin. This sounds big, loud. 92, 86, 91, 92 that way. Quite shallow, it's saying one notch. I've got the depth indicator at medium. You can have low, medium, high. Oh, it's copper pipe. Yeah, I've got the depth at medium, depth ID. The higher, whatever, the more stable the ID will be, but you lose sensitivity to high conductors. So I'm going to keep it medium as stock. Let's carry on. That's 71, in the 70s, 77. Brightened up, but that wind's freezing. Just a bit of aluminium. Now you see all the IDs, it's quite solid, but let's have a mess around with that. So if we go over to the horseshoe, go across, we'll drop that to low, 60, few numbers, and let's go over again and change it to, sorry, high. That's a bit more solid ID. You see the 67, the range is about 3. Where if we go on to low, there's a bit more of a, let's say, a 5 or 6 gap range. So I'm going to put that back onto medium. Oh, bloody bottle top. The ship halfpenny. Come up 79.80. 1944, I think. Charge of 6. About 8, about 6 inches down. A bit loud and clear. Right, let's see what these mid-tones sound like. Now I'm hoping it's gold, but there'll probably be a ring pull. I'm using my hand trowel to prod you up against. I forgot my bloody stuff. Anyway, it is what it is. What's it? Oh, it's a big piece of alley. Bloody hell. That is a big piece of alley, giving a 45. Absolutely beautiful. Been getting a lot of snots and bits. So much crap on this field, and I'm digging most stuff. It's a new detector and testing it out, really. But we just had this up, and it is just a bit brass. Nothing interested. It's one thing I've learned. You've got to give a machine at least, I say, 100 hours before you make your mind up on it. A lot of people, they'll go out and they just don't like the sound of it, and they don't find anything with it, this, that and the other, but all machines will find stuff. Sometimes you can't tune into a machine, sometimes you just don't gel with it, and you've got the choice to change. And you've got to dig the trash. I've dug so much trash. I've had them 2 coins and I've had snots, but other than that, it all depends on the land you're on as well, doesn't it? I'm going to jump over onto this other field, but I'm doing a lot of testing with it today. It is a test version, and there will be improvements and changes before it's released to the public. A cracking detector, quite a big difference from the Simplex. Quite a bit. You've got your tones there, but they are customizable. A lot better performance from a machine if you use tone breaks instead of discrimination. So you can keep the tones in, but you can just have them a lower volume, very light and deep, and the software is so fast. So machine's on 27, 28, 29. Pointers on. No interference, like there was with the original Simplex. No interference whatsoever. It's on 29, it's put on 30. So stable. Bit sparky there, but nothing too much. Good little feature here that they've took from the Legends. You've got a mineralization bar on the left. So let's get a bit of iron. I'm sure I'll just walk past some. Yeah, there's the iron. The mineralization bar. Iron is the mineral. Just really give it there when you rotate on it. It's definitely iron. A bit of a swing. I've actually got just ground off, so 1, 2 and 3 still in 99 tone with no notch, no higher limits notching, 95 to 100. I'm just going around testing. So now that's a bit of a weird one, but the mineralization bar is nearly on full. That's going to be garbage with the numbers jumping, the sound of it. Move on. It's good to the test garden. I know that with 12-inch coins the Simplex is hitting them, and that's without the halo effects. Don't forget, them coins have only been in the ground 2 years, not the Romans are in the ground. They've been in about a year and a half, not 1,500 years, so there'll be no halo effect. But don't forget as well, you also get halo leaching of iron, which does create quite a large halo effect, so there's always that as well. Now this is the first field test I've done out in the real elements, so if I'm hitting a copper or bronze coin at 12 inches in my test garden, which is full of iron and mineralized rock, then with the halo effect over the 150, 200 years of the coin, I'm going to have no trouble. And this is why I have the test garden, to see that the detector's working correctly before I go in a field and think, hang on, I know that if there's a coin at 11, 12 inches, I'm going to hit it. All depending on iron configurations as such, and that ground on the test where the Simplex depth test on the coins, it was very damp ground. This is a lot drier, so there's a lot to take in to it. There's another iron signal. Nothing on the moonlight. There you go. 3 notches on the mineralization bar. Don't forget, this is a test unit, so things will probably change. That's probably picking up the edge of iron, that. I'm learning as well, but look at that, that's full mineralization. With your 15 kilohertz, obviously you're gonna get smaller targets, deeper, but you are gonna lose a bit of depth on bigger targets, but not a lot at all. The separation should be better and the unmasking should be better because you are using a higher frequency. 15, I mean, it's not much higher, but you're just going to have that little bit more sensitivity to smaller mid conductors, but also your bigger conductors as well. I have missed the iron grunt of the Simplex. Like I say, this field, there's not much on it. I have been over with the days too on the legend. Sounds warpy. That's, to me, that's a no digger. I've been digging a lot of everything to be honest. So much information in that tone. It's great, loving it. I will be using this quite a lot. I know I've got the legend there, but once, yeah, I might do alternate weeks or whatever, you know, for the ones the people that want to see the Simplex Ultra in action. And obviously the days too has got an update, so I'll be throwing that into the works as well on the channel. The Xterra Pro is supposed to be on its way with me once they get over here. See if we can get a dig, and my spade's right over there. See, that's shallow, that. I think it's a ring pull or something. Such a bad field. It's just the field over yonder there. I've had so many silvers. Going back to William, I had my first William Shilley out of that field. So it's still up yet. With a day or two, I had to coming down here. I just did a line up and line back down deep, high conductor, and I had 2 pieces of cane silver. So got some great markings on it. They won't be going to UCID if you're watching. I have got a big bag of scrap silver. Some hammers have been thrown in there as well, some plain hammers, cracked hammers. And I'm getting something made. Yeah, getting something made out of old silver. And it'll be the only one in the world. That's about right. We're going to give that one a dig. We'll give it a dig. Also, this year I've got Detector coming to the channel, and also the Rodney Cook, place to be, and I'll be there. Hope to see you there. And I hope to find some older than George the 5th coppers. See what this jumpy signal was. Now I'm on medium on the depth ID stability. Was it telling us right? That bit jumpy because it was deep. Iron. At pinpointed depth. The ring of iron. Now, a detector prefers this shape. It's not just on conductivity, it prefers this shape to any other shape in the world, even a coin. What happens? The eddy currents, when it gets energized, they spin round and round and round like a circle around this, like a coil spring all the way round, and gives off a really good signal, and that's why it pulses like that. Now a coin, just think of a coin as a series of rings until it's full. Now them eddy currents go, but they clash into the next one, and clash into the next one, and clash into the next one, and clash into the next one. Most detectors false and something like that, unless you can, even when you pop the iron filter, the iron bias right up, yeah, very hard to get round the ring of death. And what have we got here? It's quite large. It's got a rim on it. Oh, it's just a old brass ring of sorts. Yeah, great signal. So what happens when you get a machine sent you to test? You sign an NDA. This is like, it's a form that you read through, you sign, you send back. This encloses the agreement that if you find any problems with the detector, you don't speak of it. By law, you can get done for it. You can get done for it, yeah. So yeah, I've signed the NDA. There was a few things that I've mentioned going back, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's different land, different soil, and different ways of detecting. Manufacturers just can't go off one tester; they have to send them all different parts of the world. I've put a bit of input back over to Nokta, and then it's up to them to have a look into it, improve it, and stuff like that. So I do appreciate, because this was the bigger picture. I did mention to some people that something happened that I didn't take it. I didn't take what I was offered, and this is because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself to using one brand. Now I know that I use Nokta and I test Nokta, but hopefully I will get to test a few machines. Yeah, this is the first step to the bigger picture. Now if you become part of the team of a manufacturer, Detector, Nomad, stuff like that, there's certain things you can't knock a detector. You can't, you know, you've got an NDA for life kind of thing, haven't you? So yeah, I refused. It was nice to have the offer, which I was over the moon to have the offer, but I was looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that I do want to be able to use whatever machine I want. You know, I've got an Xterra Pro on the way. I want to be able to use that, you know. I've got the NDAs 2 there, so you won't see Gary Blackwell swinging a legend about a field, would you? Dig a Dawn with a Garrett, you won't see her swinging a Vanquish about, will you? I didn't want that. I like metal detectors, full stop. I like to be able to have the chance to use other metal detectors, and they probably can do, but they're not really able to show people about it, are they? You know, brand loyalty and stuff like that. So that is why, and people might think I am a Nokta fanboy. I do like Nokta because of the price to performance offered. I do like Minelab Xterra Pro because I think that's going to be a great price to performance machine, and that's what I'm all about. You don't have to pay 1400 to 1800 quid to find history. Them detectors will find stuff in situations that are very, very, very rare. So yeah, that might upset some people, but it's the truth. It's actually the truth. I've got NDAs 2. I've done a lot of tests between them and a lot cheaper machines, and there's not much difference. And then you can get someone with really good land. I'm not knocking the Garrett 150, but they are an old bleep machine for kids really, and they could actually take that on their land, and to the viewers it could look better than a Manticore, just because it'll pull the history out, but the history is that easy, it's near enough on the surface. I'm just telling some home truths. You might think I'm a knob, but it don't bother me. It's the actual truth. Yeah. So don't get coaxed into, oh, I need this detector because it'll do this and this detector won't. Most of them will do everything well. There's some that do excel, and you pay that extra bit of money, but them situations on my fields, big open pasture fields, it's not like a colonel just nailed like a bed of nails everywhere. It's quite easy land. It's not highly mineralized and stuff like that. So I do alright with a Garrett 250, to be honest. I do like having all the settings because I'm a bit of a settings buff and technology buff, I suppose, and I like testing machines out. I've got a love for machines. I love the history as well, and I've pulled some nice stuff up in the 2 years of detecting, but I'm really for the machines, and if I pigeonhole myself with a company, I won't be able to use any other machines. So for the people that think that I'm a Nokta fanboy, if I'm a Nokta fanboy, how come I've got an XP NDAs 2 and I'm just not using it because I can't use it the way I want to use it, and there's an update coming, and I've got an Xterra Pro on the way. Yeah, now there hasn't been much history brought up, but that's because I didn't find any, so I've had to make a video somehow. So I thought you could see a field tester testing out a machine, and now what I'll do is I'll stop talking and I'll show you how I test machines and what everybody should do for the first 50 hours on a machine. Now, I've had about 3 hours out and I've learned so much in that 3 hours. I've learned so much and I've dug a lot of everything. I've been changing settings, I've been doing this and that. Even just with 3 hours there, I've tuned myself in. But look what I've had to dig to tune myself in. I hope you're ready for this. I'm a lot more tuned in than I was 3 hours ago. But look. 1, 2, 3 coins and a bit of bronze there. Now these bronze bits, copper pipe comes up very high. These iron, that iron plate or whatever it was, iron, size that piece of lead, iron ring, bottle tops, aluminium comes up really high and clean and fake. Ring pulls come in 40s, coming different because I've got one with a beaver tail on there, which was actually, if you look at these two, that come in 30s, that come in 40s. Loads of little bits, they're all metal, they're all ferrous, sorry, non-ferrous, bronze, stuff like that. This come up quite deep, it's just a nut. It's not got any history in it at all, but it's got machine performance. That's the feedback I get from digging something like that at 9 inches, you know. So there's not a lot of history at all, is there? But that's come up a treat. That's the find of the day, but there's not many of them anyway. Fucking chips it on the side. 18.99. It's a belting coin, that. It's a beautiful coin. Lovely patina on it. Aluminium pipes. There's a lot of these on these fields. These were coming up 70, and all over this permission they've come up. Now you could 72 to 74 they were coming up, so you could actually notch them out. Now that was a piece of tin. That's a piece of tin foil. That come up 30 odds. See the size of it? Yeah, there's a lot of shit in this field, as you can tell. Loads of lead, stuff like that. That's another one, aluminium thingy. Now it's got no history, but that was like, when I saw it in the soil, it was on edge. It was about 8 inches down, so that was good performance. So I hope I've shown you a different side. We all know detecting, you dig a lot of crap. Today I dug everything. Stuff that I wouldn't normally dig. Just to check that everything was shooting the way it was. So yeah, thanks for quite a painful video to watch, I bet, for you lot. But hopefully you've learnt something as well. Hopefully you can take a little bit of something away, other than just seeing history being brought out the ground. Alright, take care, sun's booming.